this is great. I'm on the live view app. I'll go to you to see which channel you want to use. Okay, are you going to do this remotely or you want me to do it? Okay, thank you so much. Hey, can we check the audio? Okay. Okay, I'm off right now. I'm off right now, and I'm going to go through the audio real quick. Check what, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2.
As Floridians, while we are waking up to significant damage from Hurricane Irma, let us also pause and remember the attack on our nation 16 years ago today, September 11th, 2001. To the survivors, to the families, and to those who were personally affected, we will never forget. We will always salute our first responders, and we remember those who perished. To put Irma into some perspective, based on our preliminary assessments coming in this morning, the damage from this storm appears to be far greater than what we experienced from Hurricane Charlie in 2004. We have strike teams throughout Orange County, including our Orange County Fire Rescue teams, our public works crews, utilities crews, law enforcement partners, and our power companies, all responding to any public safety emergencies as well as concerns they're beginning to assess the damages to infrastructure and properties and to begin to restore any lost resources. Throughout the night, I received several briefings. We continue to monitor developments related to a sinkhole in the Apopka Vineland and Colonial Drive area. Our fire rescue teams assisted in safely evacuating residents and finding safe shelter in a nearby clubhouse. In spite of significant proactive measures by our Public Works Department to try to minimize any potential damage from flooding, approximately 130 homes in the area of Kirkman and Old Winter Garden Road did experience significant flooding. Again, fire rescue was able to transport these individuals with the assistance of the National Guard to a nearby shelter. As far as power outages, as you know, Orange County is experiencing widespread power outages, as is much of the state. At this time, Duke and OUC are reporting collectively approximately 300,000 homes without power in Orange County alone. Due to power outages from the hurricane, Orange County Utilities is also experiencing widespread outages at our wastewater pump stations. For this reason, we are asking our residents to minimize their water use activities. Things such as flushing the toilet, bathing, washing dishes, and laundry. Any non-essential use of dispersing the water through your system would be greatly appreciated and help us maintain the water flow out of homes and residences. Also, if residents have filled their bathtubs with water in preparation for the storm, we would ask that you not drain the water for at least a day or until power is restored to your area. Orange County Fire Rescue reports that sadly last night there was one reported fatal traffic accident. 60% of our fire stations are currently operating off of backup generators, just to give a perspective of how widespread the problems are with power outages. Our 911 dispatchers received 1,381 calls between Sunday midnight and 5:45 this morning. As far as our shelters are concerned, we have 18 shelters that were open last night. Approximately 4,300 individuals along with 200 pets took refuge in this shelter. Overnight, we did experience several shelters with intermittent power disruptions. I know residents and visitors in our shelter are very eager to get back to their homes, but I need to remind everyone that we remain under a curfew. We need everyone to be patient, and we need to ensure that our roadways are safe for travel before people leave our shelters or the rest of the public begins traveling. Please remember that if you do see a power line that is down, assume that it's live. Stay a safe distance away. Contact 311 either by phone or through Orange County's 311 app. If you're using the app, you have the capability to pinpoint the power line exact location via the geolocation tool. And please continue to report any new damages to power at 311. If you've already called a call in regarding power outage, obviously that's been received and registered. Remember to continue to stay indoors. If you have to be on the road for an emergency situation or you're an essential employee to one of our public safety or hospitals and you encounter a traffic signal that's out, treat it like a four-way stop. Stay cautious of debris and fallen trees. Remember that things may still continue to fall. Please let the winds subside before beginning to move any debris from your own property. As some of our residents will be using generators, please remember generator safety precautions. I'm going to call now on our emergency manager to talk about some tips for safety, including how to operate your generators. Ron?
Thank you, Mayor. We've done such a great job so far. Everyone has kept themselves safe, and they've taken our advice, and we thank you. Just a few tips. We know during this time, power is still out. Individuals will be using generators, propane tanks, and coal grills to try to fix their food and survive as we go on. We have just a few tips that we'd like you to follow. So while you're using these, we'd like you to make sure you use them outdoors, where it's or in a well-ventilated area. We don't want you to connect your generator to the power or the utility company power line, because that causes a backfeed. And while the power company's personnel are out, It can also cause damage or electrical shock to them and can cause them their lives. So please, if you're using a generator, use it properly. Plug into it. Do not plug it into the power line for back fees. And as you're around your homes and you're doing a survey in your yard, treat every power line as a live line. Do not try to mitigate it. Let it lay there. Put a safety cord, keep others away. And you want to check trees and other things around your home. Be careful if you have to go on your roof to try to patch it or do other type of maintenance on your yard. Have someone help you if you're climbing a ladder, because we don't want anyone to fall back to cause themselves harm. Remember, we lose more people after the storm before we get our areas cleaned up and make it safe for everyone than we lose during the storm. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear briefly from our fire chief, Chief Droz, to talk a little bit more detail about the efforts undertaken last night by his fire rescue officers and what they're doing today to help us assess the damages.
When we spoke last, we said that conditions had progressed or deteriorated enough that crews were not responding, and that was on an individual basis. I'm happy to report that a lot of the crews took it upon themselves to really assess conditions and began responding at the soonest opportunity. The two significant events that we had overnight was the sinkhole that we got the call, and by the time we had gotten there, 4 air conditioner units had already sunk within the hole, and it was impacting the apartment building with approximately 30 families that were located within there. We tried to contact the management of the building because the winds were so high we couldn't transport them in a bus to a shelter because they were over 35 miles an hour. So we opened the clubhouse and housed them there. Now the flooding that was located off of Kirkman in the Orla Vista area impacted approximately 138 homes, and as of 7 a.m. we had rescued 125 people from that flooding area in conjunction with the National Guard who assisted in that effort. At 4 a.m. our crew, we assessed the wind within the county, and our crews began to give us an idea through the rapid damage assessment. There's widespread flooding. There's roadway flooding off of 50 and Fort Christmas Road, the 520 under the beach line. There's flooding there, and I-4 and the Central Florida Parkway. There's flooding, significant flooding in the Conway area, as well as the aforementioned Orla Vista area, as well as some of the mobile home parks. We're assembling crews right now in the most impacted areas with the blue tarps, and we're being prepared to really go out and be the resource for the community to start bringing some normalcy back to their lives. But we must iterate that the danger from the storm has not passed, and that's the reason that the mayor instituted the curfew until 6 p.m. It was for a situation like the one we are currently experiencing. We need to have the ability to get crews out to assess the damage, start clearing the roadways of any hazards that still may be out there. So that is the critical point. We're not past this yet. We still need to keep everybody safe and in their homes so that we can do the work to bring the community back to where it needs to be.
Thank you, Chief. And I think the Chief made probably one of the most important points here today, and that is this storm the effects of this was far worse than we were anticipating 24 hours ago. We need people to take this very seriously. The greatest danger to the safety of our citizens lies ahead of us more than behind us. I want to thank our citizens and our residents for their support for the last 24 hours. I've been very proud of our community, but I know today is going to be a long day. It's going to be a hard day. I'm betting, like everybody here behind me and myself included, I'm betting that a lot of you all did not get the amount of sleep you're accustomed to getting. And under the best of circumstances, this is a trying situation. So I'm going to ask for you to be as patient as you can be with yourselves, with your family members, and with us as we are doing our best to ensure the safety of our communities. Please adhere to all public safety warnings and restrictions. Take care of yourself, take care of your families, and know that we are working as hard as we can to get our entire community back up and running. I have the utmost confidence and faith in the citizens of Orange County, but I just ask you, be patient, be kind. Let's find our best selves in this trying time ahead of us. And as I think our sheriff said yesterday, we're in this together, and together we'll come through it. Thank you very much.
Mayor, can we ask a few questions?
Please.
You said worse than Charlie. How bad is the damage? Are there areas around Central Florida, or specifically Orange County, that are hit hardest?
We're still assessing that. We've gotten some reports from our fire stations in the northwest area of Orange County that literally cannot get out of the station right now to assess the damage. We have a couple stations out there that have reported the roadways are impassable, so they can't get very far. We've got one station that literally cannot get their truck out to assess the situation. So we know that area was hard hit. We know we have pockets of flooding. We know that the Christmas community is experiencing challenges. So we are still assessing. One thing I will tell you is, we've gotten questions already from people. What do I do with my storm debris? Be patient with us. Throughout the day, we will continue to hold these updates, and when we can tell you what to do next, we will. And of course, I hate to utter the words, but we're also monitoring the path of Jose, and that will impact a little bit how we respond to debris collection. So be patient, and let's all hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Thank you.
Thank you. Alex, have any questions?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about this sinkhole? Was anyone injured by the sinkhole, or were the families just in danger?
Yeah, they were in danger. We have no reported injuries from the sinkhole. They, as we asked them to do, when they saw the danger, they reported it. We were able to go out, assess, remove the families from harm's way, and put them in a safe environment.
You said it was in an apartment building?
It was.
And was it close to the homes or in the parking lot area?
It was. So the air conditioners are usually right adjacent to the buildings, and this sunk 4 air conditioning units into the hole prior to our arrival. So when we went on scene and we assessed the damage, we believed it was impacting the structure, and that's why the structure was evacuated.
Chief, with the neighborhood we were talking about, we reported this last night, I think it was about 128 families. Do you think you've found everybody, and is everyone okay?
We're still in the area, and one of the things that we do when we do a primary search, we always come back and do a secondary search of a structure or of an area. As of 7 a.m., we had rescued 125 people from that area, but we're not going to leave until we're assured that we got everybody that needs to get out to safety.
Mayor, your leadership and the team has been fantastic. Any final words before we wrap up this morning?
No, I don't think so. I just want to reiterate that we as a community are in this together. We're going to come through this together, and we are going to stay in touch with you throughout the day. And please keep in touch with us. If it's a non-emergency issue that we need to be aware of, call 311. If you have an emergency, call 911. God bless.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you for your time. This concludes our briefing.